What is going on, YouTube? Blingbot coming at you with another episode or Let's Play of the Craft Theory server here as well. And once again, I'm going to be showing you some of the updates that we have had since the last time that you were here with us. Now, I'll try to go over some of them pretty quickly here because some of them are either improved, but there's also quite a bit of new content as well. Now, you've already seen most of the stuff that was inside the base here, so we'll get right down to it. So first off, as far as any sort of change here, you already saw the buildings that were down here as well. Well, I made a little bit of an addition there. So it's not much. I did not come down here just to show you some chests. Although I do think they do look very nice, if I do say so. But you'll see we do have a large amount of stone here. And it's more stone than we can fit up there. And towards the end of the episode, you will see exactly why and where that came from. Spoiler alert. Kind of. Anyways, moving right along here. You've already seen all that, so I won't bother rehashing those. This is really the only new internal addition other than what was down there, is right here before we did have the melon and pumpkin farm. And now we have the nether wart here as well, and that's in preparation for our alchemy room that we will be putting up later on. It's not quite finished, but that way we do have that one as well. Now, something that's been up for a while, we just haven't shown it on here, and you may have seen a glimpse of that, is this area right here. I know, very exciting. Tons of stuff in here. It's just riveting. As you can see, it's supposed to be for wolves, so there's Funky Peas, there's mine, and I do have one right now. And I am using this opportunity right now to proclaim that we need to expand the map. That way we can get some wolves. I'm tired of not having it. You need the wolves so you can be out, and then you don't even got to worry about creepers. I like being able to do that, but I refuse to take this wolf out until we have some more. Luckily, Monkey has talked about, Monkey being our server owner there, has talked about expanding the map here soon as well, perhaps in conjunction with the 1.9 update, or maybe after we beat our water temple. Because we do have one of those that's up, and that'll be a good experience, because I have never actually fought anything in the water temple. But, let's keep moving right along here now. I don't know where my horse went. I'm gonna get this leash here in case I do find one, or the lead. I always call him a leash. Anyways, you'll see right here, you've seen some of these little signs before, but there is the horse breeder. So we figured right across from the actual stables, that would be the best spot for this. The idea is to have maybe a multi-tiered room, the top of it maybe looking like a barn or something like that. And inside you would actually be able to have different horses, so maybe different ones with not only different colors, but also different stats, because I do believe anyone can ride your horse now as well. But that's, another minor detail. Now, right off the bat, if you've been watching the series, or if this is the first one that you've seen, or at least one of the last two, I should say, you'll notice there is a lot of changes and improvements to different buildings that were definitely not here before. Got some there, and there. So let's get started looking at some of those as well. Now, the first one here is this little area. Now, it's not a full building, it's just a little spot where it comes up from the ground. But this is the spider crusher that we basically jacked the build that was at spawn. Now, this is not my design. I copied this design from the one that's at spawn that you can see in, I believe, the first episode of this Let's Play series, the little tour around the spawn, which was also copied from a different person as well. So certainly all credit where credit is due. It's certainly not my build, but I don't really care. It works, and it works good. And that's all that I can really ask for. But as you see, they spawn, they get forced into the water channel down the middle, and then they get right here. Now, you certainly can still get hit by them if you get too close, and they're not doing it right now. But I know that you can. But anyways, you'll see it channels them right there. And you just hit that button. Crush, 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 crush. And now we got easy spiders and spider-related materials. And they all just fall into that hopper there and into this nice chest right here. Now we also have made a lock on here. See how it blocks the water right there as well. But who wants the lock? I mean, really, hey, it's free XP and free items. I would never use the lock unless I'm just locking it down for maintenance as well. Now let's give you a little quick look behind the scenes here. So this is the little crushing mechanism for the spiders on there. And certainly we could show you in a later episode exactly how this is made as well. And I have a little spot for some water, and then this line to activate the rest of the lock, which functions right there. So I always try to make mine with a lot of easy access tunnels because I hate completely covering up something and not being able to get back to it. But that way we do have those for you as well. Give a little couple kills there for those. And we also have a bed and a storage facility. Now I'm contemplating maybe putting a the enchanting table down here as well, somewhere. Or perhaps up into the alchemy room, but probably down here as well, since it's actually next to the crusher or the mob farm. That's kind of standard procedure for me and Funky Professor there as well. We always like being able to just camp out wherever it is that we're trying to get our items or experience. Now, before I go into some of these buildings and kind of over there, we'll make a quick little detour up here as well. Now, this is the actual micro house that I featured in the last Funky Machines video that we had. Now this one doesn't have the anvil or the ender chest ready, but all other parts of it are functional. It just doesn't have any of the armor or some of the other stuff in there. But functionally, it is the same micro house, and we want to have these, as I had said in that video, scattered around FunkTown. We always want someone to be able to access a bed and have easy access to basic materials. Should they die, should they want to respawn, you know, whatever. Oh, and I see my horse. Somehow it made it from where we're going to end the episode to here, so I'm going to go ahead and get him over here, and we'll use him as we're kind of going around here. So first off, other than the micro house, you'll see, let me go ahead and get back up here. A nice pixel art. You'll see that we've done extensive road work. So all around there, we tried to keep this whole road theme going. It's at spawn, it's at here. We really like the way it looks, and frankly, this is the first time we've ever built above ground, personally, when playing on a multiplayer server. So it was kind of a new experience for us. We wanted to keep this nice organized theme going here. And you can see we've reworked the front of the actual AFK house quite a bit. So I think it looks pretty great as far as that's concerned. Looks cool at night, very lit up, very cool with the roads. And of course, you got to have a nice fountain to give a little class to the place. You know what I'm saying? We can't look like we're poor over here. I mean, we gotta keep up appearances. I mean, my name's Blingbot. I can't be dirt poor. Anyways, moving right along. So the green tower is an actual cactus farm. Now we have one in the base. That one's okay, but let's be honest, there's only 5 cactus on that one. I only wanted to make one so we would kind of get some cactus and I didn't have to actually go out and farm them because I'm lazy like that. And now we can afford to be extremely lazy. So with this particular setup, it's basically just the same setup that I had before on hyper steroids with a system that will feed into our AFK house idea that you'll remember from the last episode, where all of these buildings will feed to a particular area and you can just go and AFK there and have all of these wonderful items produced for you. But that being said, with this particular cactus farm, there are 16 cactus on each level, or cacti more correctly, and then there are 4 levels. So certainly it's a full stack of them that can be growing at any time, and they'll just fall down into our water stream, and then go into our nice enclosed hopper system here. Had to make it look a little fancy, but we'll give you a quick look at how this is functioning. Now, I'm still toying around with actually getting this to be maximum efficiency here. For the most part, I mean, this portion right here is completely fine. There's nothing that needs to be fixed here. Now, this one, oops, fell down into my little access tunnel there. So there doesn't appear to be any items stuck. This is the item elevator here, so let's go ahead and actually give it something to dispense. See if it'll do it. Now you'll see it took my pumpkin pie upwards. Now, obviously, in most cases, it should only be using the actual cactus here. But when something goes into the hopper line, gets in the dispenser, you'll see it actually activated that whole thing here. It actually allows the dirt to pass through, send the signal, power the block, and then shoot it out for the dispenser. That way it's not constantly running, and it sends the items upward, and then I just have another access tunnel, both here and back into the actual cactus farm there as well. Again, we're all about being efficient and as easy and lazy enabling as possible. So certainly, that's where we have that. That's the tower that also encases the rest of that and feeds into the AFK house, which, as of course you know by now, is hidden inside of this hill as well. And we'll go back to there before we're done, but a couple other additions that we had as well. So in here, there's all of our villager breeders. So before we move them into the wheat farm, which we still have yet to do, because that kind of sucks getting those in there. Once we do, though, we'll store some extra villagers in case anything happens to the wheat farm that we can easily just replace, and that's also what's inside of that mountain. Now, the actual iron farm here, we've done a little bit of work to it. Really, you've seen the inside and all that since the last episode. I just went and added some nice pillars, and then obviously this road system that goes along here. Now, the mountain, as you can see by the terrain, used to just terminate right here. Well, I cut through there in order so that we could have a nice roadway over to here. Now, what are these, you ask? These, and before we actually finish going over there, there we can see we have another micro house. I actually have an anvil in this one. But these, okay. As you could hear by the storm of items going off, we'll show you what that's all about here. Now, real quick before we actually get back up there, you'll see it's just another pathway. We're connecting all of them with pathways, as you've seen in previous episodes. But these are the vertical melon and pumpkin farms that Funky Professor had made as well. And my contribution to this whole process was encasing them in some nice multicolored towers here, trying to make everything stand out a little bit. Can't have it all made out of monochromatic color with just the stone brick. Got to class it up a little bit with some color. But you'll see each layer. Let's see if we can see anything inside of one of them. Well, I guess they all did just go off. But each tower has either melon or pumpkin now. I believe, even though this one's orange, I'm pretty sure this one's the melon. And then on the other side, we have the pumpkin. I wanted to switch it up a little bit. But each level is exactly the same. So this is fully scalable, as high as you want to go. And it is super, super efficient. Whenever it was going off, yeah, like I was saying, whenever it went off, you'll see not only one, does it kind of have a tendency to lag the server, it's also very loud, but man, this thing is efficient. I mean, let me tell you here, it's very efficient, and you have to wait for all of these to kind of finish going through there, but it goes from one side, leads its signal into the other building, and it's the same mechanism that will actually make it go off as well. But this thing is hyper efficient. If anything, we need to slow it down. So produces too much. One of them good problems that you like having. But yeah, that's what these are, and I'm very happy with the way that those had turned out. Now, as far as any other additions, that was it for those. There was a slight tweak to the squid farm since last time. So Funky Professor showed you that in a previous episode. And what he also did, completely unprovoked, if I might add, is he decided to do the silo system in here like we have in so many of our other buildings. Now you'll notice this one is full up, same idea, the indicator lights show you how full each silo is, but the cool thing about the way that this one is built is that since it will be producing literally the same item and only that item, it's built in such a way that the entire left side will fill up first, and the hopper line will back up to this point that's in the wall here embedded before it ever gets over to this side here. So it's certainly, as you can see, kind of well, probably don't have too good of a view there, but it's built in such a way that the overflow will only come to this side once the other one is completely full. And right here was actually basically where the floor was last time, but I'm certainly happy with the improvement there. I'm always in favor of indicator silos. It's just a cool thing to have, and it's also very useful aside from looking pretty good as well. So that actually completes everything with the exception of the fully functional wheat farm. Now, I mean, the wheat farm, we had it working. Again, we alluded to that in the last episode, but there's still a few tweaks to be made there. But with that being said, the iron farm's working, the squid farm's working. We don't have the mob farm up yet, but that one is just purely built by hand. I mean, we just pretty much need to build that one and it'll be good. But everything that actually feeds into the silo is done here. And look, there's my pumpkin pie that we threw into the chest over there. And it goes properly into the overflow chest as well. So it doesn't matter which hopper line it's coming from, with the exception of eggs. If it falls in there and it's not one of those items, it will go to that overflow chest. So certainly a ton of functionality, and we're really glad that this AFK house is coming together and is nearly complete here. So once we have the rest of FunkTown up and running, then this will be a cool place for us or whoever else is visiting to go as well. Now, the last big addition that we had as far as buildings are concerned is this right here. And if you can't tell, obviously it has to do with food. So again, we have our nice looking silo system in place. You'll see that there are some indicators as to what the items are. So we have leather, beef, mutton, the wool, and then this one will be for rabbits once it's complete. We're still working on this building. I should say Funky is still working on it. That's certainly not my area of expertise. I just make things pretty. I get the simple jobs, the simple things in life here. But he devised this system, or tweaked another one perhaps. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him about that one as well. But the idea of these machines is very simple. So it's not fully automated, but it's about as close as you can get with animals to make it really simple. So you'll see here, as it's tripping out with the graphics, that the cows are all in here, and there's multiple cows, as you can see, again, by the graphics freaking out. You notice there's a button there, and then we got some breeding materials. So I'll go to a blank one, because we're still waiting to build up the stores here. But the basic idea of this contraption is that whatever animal is in the pit here, you will first, once they're in there, and they're fully grown, you'll need to dispense some water there. Now, the water will help them bob up and down, making it easier for you to actually select ones to make them eligible to breed and have the babies in there. Once that's done, once you're done breeding, you just hit the button back, takes the water back. Everyone's all happy and living in their nice little pit. Now, when you have a sufficient number of adults and you're ready to harvest the items, then hit that button, click, and you'll see that the actual lava blade rapidly goes in and out there, singeing the animals, cooking all the drops, but going away before it actually destroys or burns any of them, and is pulled down by the hopper system down into the floor that you've already seen below. And up here is where we're actually keeping some of the animals for the breeding purposes, at least for right now, and probably in case anything happens that way, they are there. Now, we didn't have pigs in there. We're still working on to see if there is a particular area, I should say. Not we, Funky Professor, again, I would have no idea where to start. But he is actually working on a way to potentially get some pigs in here. But so far, results are not looking good, unfortunately. So we haven't come up with a good way for that, but doesn't mean we will stop trying anytime soon. And then right here, again, is the pit where we'll have for the rabbit machine, which is a little bit different just because of the way that they breed some of their drops and what we need to do from there. And then I just made a nice little patio overhang because why not? Who wouldn't want to look at this? I mean, it's gorgeous. But now we do our suicide drop. Oh, wow. That hurt a lot more than I thought it was going to. That's okay, though. So that is about it for the new machines that are here in town, but there was one more extremely significant addition although not quite as impressive as these other ones. So again, going down another one of our nice road systems here. Now, in past episodes, you would remember coming out of right here, if you watched the last one or any of the previous ones, there used to be a actual cross that was on the top of the mountain here. And we had discussed in the last episode that there was going to be a merchant tower, similar to if you've ever played the original Pokemon Red or Blue, that there was going to be something like in, I believe it's Vermilion City, Saffron City. Frankly, I'm ashamed that I don't know that. And we still don't know that even from last episode. We had this conversation before. But basically like that. There was a one-stop shop. It had basically everything you could ever need in the game, ready to go, ready to be purchased, and it just depended on which level that you wanted to be on. So we've always been big proponents of automating as much as you can, getting everything as much on a farm status where you don't have to do anything. And, you know, we figured being on a multiplayer server, not living underground like hermits, and actually being part of a community, we would build something that people could come to, enjoy, relax, go in the town, stop by for whatever they need, especially as our map expands, you know, depending on what things are going on here. And we discussed that idea of the tower. And as you'll see, you got a little sneak peek there, but let's go up top. We have now finished the main excavation portion for this tower. So there used to be a mountain here. And even in the last episode, you can actually see just how much of a mountain there was, and then to now currently how much of a mountain that is not here anymore. And certainly, little disclaimer, I don't recommend this, just for the record. This took quite a bit of time, quite a bit of effort, quite a bit of pickaxes, both enchanting them, re-enchanting them, repairing them, etc. You know the whole story, as you can pretty much tell by looking at this. But I will say that it will certainly be worth it once it's all in here. Now, we have a few ideas brewing for the actual Funk Tower and what we want to do with that as well. But for each side here, we have the little thin side. I didn't destroy the bridge. That's actually intentional. I do want that still to have a clear path from spawn all the way through our town here as well. But now what you'd do is you'd have different areas that you could stop along the road. So this will very obviously, at least on the first floor, be the main lobby portion of the Funk Tower here. We'll have a little spot where you can stop in. Now, significantly, or I should say of significance, we punched this one out specifically because the first thing that will be added here is I will be putting a nether portal to link up to the nether hub. Now, I haven't yet shown you the nether hub. I've shown you where the little nether hub portion is in the first Craft Theory Let's Play video. But we haven't actually been into the nether hub. And Mark over at Adults Only Minecraft, or sometimes you've seen him on here as Racked Velhorn, he is actually the one, I believe, who made the nether hub on here. And it's really cool the way it's set up. It's super convenient, and I couldn't imagine going to the nether without something like that in place now. So we intentionally have held off on making our portal there for that as well. But that about does that for any of the updates that we've done since then. So as you can tell, it may not appear like that much, but I think we made a significant dent with some of our buildings that we've put in. And then obviously, I mean, we destroyed a mountain. Come on, give me some credit here. That was quite a big project there as well. But certainly all of it's beginning to come together. We're very excited about the what we're going to do with FunkTown, and we'll be really excited to show you once it starts getting going here. So we're very much nearing that process as we speak here as well. So certainly we're once again, like I said, very excited to get that going. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Feel free to comment and subscribe, of course. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And most importantly, until I see you next time, keep it funky. Bye.